What's up? Welcome to Underground Crypto Deep Dive Research Show. We have another great stream for you with some good IQ raising information to raise that crypto IQ. Where is everybody? Somebody go tell Bankroll that we are live. Melissa's probably still working. Blues Guy maybe still working. The last couple of days have been a little bit slow, but that's okay because we can't stop, won't stop when it comes to the live stream. We got to keep going regardless of who is here. There's a goal set for tonight. Can we hit 5 super chats? I don't know, the low interaction, maybe not. we'll see. And here we are running into that underground crypto moon base facility to do our research. Let's go. Welcome to the channel. And that would be Underground Crypto. All right, let's kick it off over here at the Crypto Bubbles as we always do. It's a great place to start the stream, I think. Wow, so BTC had a really nice pump. We're going to talk about it in a minute. And then it's been pulling back. Me, Bankroll, Camsta, we were all in trades. Some of them altcoins, some in BTCs. We've been hanging out in the Discord. We're all a little bit down right now. I wish it was better. But even with all the big pumps, it seems a little disappointing when you're down in a trade. Let's see if that Asia market can do something for us. ICP up 32.6%. I love to see that. I own a little bit. I was just barely underwater on this thing, so hopefully that pushed me back above. Dash up 40%. Seems like, you know, Monero, Dash are both benefiting. Here's Monero over here. Benefiting from that Zcash collapse. That's crypto for you. River up to $42, down to 20. Wow, it ripped up to $42 and went down to 20. That is very volatile. Melissa is here. Thank you very much for being here. Said, I just went skating with the boys. I found a trick so that he doesn't want to come off. I pretend to be a prisoner and he chases me around. There you go. Got to make it fun. Put a storyline to it. You'll keep him going. Filecoin up 5.2% today. I mean, still under probably where I bought my Filecoin forever ago. Here's Rain. This is the other Rain that I've been talking about. This thing's been around for a while. I don't know what's up with the new Rain coin. Not very bullish on the new Rain coin. Zen Horizon, that is, finally making some moves, right? I mean, it is up 45% on the month, but we talked about Horizon maybe getting a pump to go with the whole, you know, Zcash, Dash, Monero for a while before Zcash totally, you know, got fudded, and it never really did a whole lot of movement. Well, finally, it seems like we're starting to get something going on here. It's slowly moved up, I guess. Yeah, I don't know if I consider that slow. Went up to 10, stayed at like $9 for forever. Then finally got this rip today to 12.85, and it's under 12 at the moment. CCD, or Concordium, is up 6.7. You got Build On, which is in the World Liberty Finance ecosystem, up 12.5% or 12.7%. Changed on me. Thorchain up 6.1%. Would have been a nice short. Exactly. I have some ICP. I'm up some. That's nice. I think I'm probably up a little bit now to Decred in our 100 to 200 by market cap. Looks like, besides, yeah, it wins out over Zen, 16.3%. Looks like the biggest bubble here. And then in Humanity, of course, I don't really keep that big of an eye on Humanity. Apparently, Monad is down 8.5%. Let's go ahead and hop down one more 100 as we always do. It's usually where we stop. And then R, of course, is another privacy coin. It's up 36.8% on the day. Chilling at 79 cents right now, was as high as 80, so it hasn't given a lot back, but it's up 315% on the year. We have Alchemy up 13.2%, Movement up 16.9%. We have Safe up 15.8%. This Islam coin is up 9.8%. This Coca is up 8.1%. Rect up 7%. ICNT, or Impossible Cloud Network token, is up 10.2%. So there are some things that have held their gains. I assume that a lot of these things were up significantly more before BTC kind of pulled back, and that's what we're going to go look at next real quick. On a day like today, we really should. So first and foremost, BTC at 96,576. You'd think we'd be very happy about that, and we are. All right, we are. Just because I'm down in a little bit in the trade and it's sucking the fun out of the pump a little bit, don't think I have lost sight of the fact that that is really good for us right now. Barely up on the market cap, only 0.6. I bet this was much higher earlier. Camps, how you doing? ICP was sweet today. Tired. 1 hour of skating. Yeah, that'll take the energy out of you right there. Anyways, we're at 3.36 trillion for the overall market cap of crypto. I'd say that's bullish. Let's go ahead and bounce over to TradingView just real fast. Take a look at BTC. We're only going to look at BTC right this second. And it looks like it's, pretty much kind of falling off a cliff here. So we finally bounced at the 5-minute 200. And I say finally, so you'll see, let me grab the brush. There's a little bounce there, bounce here, and then another bounce there. But these are all lower lows. When does it stop? And this right here very much feels double bottom-ish. I hope that holds up. My trade will be all right if that holds up. It is so common for us to come back to a 200 moving average on a time frame like the 3-minute, 5-minute, and then of course so on and so forth as you go up there. Hopefully we can hold this. You can see I got an alert set here at 96.1. I think my liquidation for my trade is like 95,000. I don't know. We'll look at it in a minute. I do have it on weeks. I will be, trading live, assuming I don't lose all of my money that I'm trading with today. I just threw in $100 to start messing around with. It was good. I was up most of the day, and then we kind of fell out here. Now, if you look, one thing that stuck out to me, and I saw this, I should have got out of the trade. I know this is how I always kind of mess things up, is that is an inverted Adam and Eve, right? And if Adam and Eves are such a strong indicator for bottoms, maybe they also are for tops. I don't know. I haven't back tested that very much. I would wonder what the lifer would say, but I would imagine that, how it goes one way, it pretty much goes the other way as well. But let's hop into the 15-minute and see what we're doing here. Same thing. Obviously, you can see that Adam and Eve pretty obvious here. You do have, let's see, actually, I'm not quite sure. If you pull from here, I hate how these little plus and minuses get in the way. So annoying. I guess you could pull yourself over. Okay, that's actually a good strat. Anyways, you can see, or we're looking for, but this looks like a pretty big divergence. And I even have some flashcards over here that I made for myself. I made my own divergence flashcards. That's how I learned them. But I just want to double check before I even speak here. Yeah, hidden bullish. This is hidden bullish divergence. Usually hidden bullish divergence is very strong. And yeah, hidden bullish divergence on the 15-minute seems like it could take us somewhere, right? Seems like it could take us somewhere. I like that we stopped right at the 5-minute. Let's see, we didn't go any farther. Yeah, bouncing off the 5-minute. And then what I really wanted to see, this is what I knew I should have waited for. And I was just impatient. I wanted to trade. It seemed like a good day to trade. Didn't want to miss. Fear of missing out, FOMO. Didn't want to miss the pump. And so I got in way too early when I knew better. The 1 hour was super far away. Earlier today, we were up here. And we were super far away from the 21. This area right here, as you can see. So anyways, I knew better. I knew I should wait, and I did. I started real small, and as we started to fall, I kept adding, and I should have saved a little bit more capital for when we got down farther. That would have been a smart move. I'm probably going to consolidate something live here and maybe add a little bit more to it as well. It's a little hard to do live because it can be a little boring for everybody. Inverted head and shoulder maybe on the 1 hour for light. Who knows? That's just a little bit of a teaser there. All right, and what I really wanted to show here is that the 1 hour is kind of falling wedge style back to the 21, just as it should. All right, now let's get back to our normal rundown here. I don't want to get us too off track for those who are used to the show. Let's do our quick price rundown. These are fun on a day like today. And wait till you see that fear and greed index, man. That fear and greed index moved today. Would have been nice shorting. Yep, exactly. We will at least get back to our P&L tonight. Tokyo starting to grease the wheels. I certainly hope so. Hey, I'm used to losing. Do your worst, BTC. I'll never talk. That's hilarious. I think Cam still likes it. Tokyo has been ranging all week. Time for them to switch up the program. Hey, as long as you don't lose your hundo, we can wait. Exactly. And I have a little bit of room, and I have a little bit that I can add. I would kind of prefer not to, but I have some that I can add. Anyways, and maybe I'll silently in the background move some money over real quick if I can do that. Anyways, BTC up 5.7%. Let's be happy about that, right? Let's not get too entrenched in our own decisions that we made in the market. So, and I'm not down and out yet. Exactly. BTC coming in at 96,576. We're headed back to 100,000. Pretty confident about that. Parabolic curve on like a lot of these. Here, they do break down at some point usually. So are we there yet? We got more to go. Don't know. Ethereum, $3,331, up 5% following BTC. BNB has flipped XRP again. How you like that? And they are up 4.1% at $938 for BNB. XRP, $2.13, is down 1.9%. So why it's not getting any of this pump, I have no idea. Solana, $145, up 6.7% in the last 7 days. XRP, come on. It was getting some nice price action, and then it's pulled back. It is kind of in a flag here. All right, so let's go down to Dogecoin, 14.5 cents, still down 1.1%. It has just hung out. It's been here for so long, and we dipped lower, and now we're back here and not getting. It's been very hard to get above, say, 16 cents, right? It's been like almost impossible for Dogecoin. Very annoying. Cardano, 41 cents, 2.1% in the last 7 days. And I mean, Dogecoin is supposed to have, you know, all of these. Why am I blanking right now? Same thing to Bitcoin, ETFs, right? Where are these ETFs going to start helping Dogecoin? I have no idea. Monero's crushing it. Monero was the thing to get into, and it is 7-day 71%. And I talked about this before it pumped. Now, I didn't say, hey, everybody, it's going to pump, because I don't do that. I don't give financial advice. But I was talking about, you know, Zcash was dumping, and Monero just started to get the tiniest little bit of pump, and I said, hey, I think the money's going to flow out of Zcash into Monero. And so maybe you rocked with it, maybe you made some money there, maybe you didn't. I wasn't even trading at that point, so I didn't do anything. But anyway, 71% in the last 70 days for Monero, and I forget what it topped out at. I think it topped out at like 800 or 850, something of that nature. All right, past the wrapped coins. Chainlink, $14, up 3.9% in the last 7 days. XLM, 23 cents, just flat on the 7 days, down 2.6% in the last 24 hours. Zcash, up 5.5%. I mean, it was pretty obvious it's going to bounce at some point, but that doesn't mean it's going back to where it was by any means. And it's down 8.7% in the last 7 days. Sui, still not doing a whole lot, holding a little bit of gains that it got recently. $1.84, 0.7%. Guess it's better than being negative. Avalanche, $14.51, up 2.7% in the last 7 days. HBAR, 12 cents, down 0.8%. What is going on in here? Bankroll coming in. Said, I'm here just watching the b-ball game. Hey, no worries. In huge drawdown, so I'm locked in. But life is good. Smash the likes, join the Discord, and raise that crypto IQ. Thank you for saying that. Couldn't agree more. I still have my Monero. Not enough of it, but almost doubled. Nice. I remember Orhan telling me when I first came in and the bear market just started, he told me to just keep stacking Monero. It's going to keep going up. The man is a genius. Yeah, I wish he would come back. I don't know why he, ran off so easily when somebody pushed back on him a little bit. That's going to happen. People are going to disagree. But it was enough to take the wind out of his sails as far as this group goes. So that was odd. Anyways, Canton Network, 13 cents. But I really liked when he was here for sure. Let's go check on Flare. Did Flare get any move here? I just do this for fun. I do it for Blues Guy. I think he must be home, on his way home or something like that. I'm sure he'll show up. So Flare falling down to 108. I don't know when it did that. It might have been real recently as we got, you know, some pullback for BTC. And we're going to hop into what is trending. Just want to check on my trade since I'm in one. It's going terribly, but that's okay. I was in the Lifers Discord, and he was talking about this is the time to just hold in there. So hopefully that's going to work out for me. We had this basically double bottom, you know. Can you see this trend line here? I should probably draw it. Where are we at? And we'll come back to this in a minute. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this right this moment. But you can see that trend line. Yeah, basically bounced off of that. Could probably go up a hair. There you go. And that's where we bounce. That's what I'm hoping that we hold. 5-minute 200 is kind of just playing with it right now. You can see my liquidation is down here at 95,000. I may need to add some money. Hopefully we don't go there quickly. It's one of the things with streaming, it makes it difficult. Let's see. I am down 38 bucks. And I broke quite a few rules, as I always do. And that is why trading is hard. Anyways, let's take a look at what is trending. So Monero, of course, ICP, Dash, the things you would suspect from the crypto bubbles, Bitcoin, River, Zcash, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, SWI, Lighter, which I kind of was looking at. Maybe there's a inverted head and shoulder, but I don't know. I don't really feel like Lighter is a very strong coin. I feel like the institutions and things got in it early, let it run, you know. And then as soon as token generation event happened and the hype was there, they sold it off. And it's been literally junk since then. Monad, Pol, and Litecoin. And Monad is down 16% in the last 7 days. So it's always impossible to kind of know what is going to do well. You think you know, but you don't know. And you make guesses, but you don't know until, you know, it rather does or doesn't. He said it's what BTC was meant to be. Okay, if it goes down to 95K, I'm out 20 bucks. Yeah, I'll be out like 100 bucks. I'm trying to add before then. It says Monad is in a cup and handle on the daily to let everyone know. Okay, thank you for saying that. We'll check that out. Underground, we're in it together. We absolutely are. So take a look at this fear and greed index. Did this thing go up fast or not? Now, honestly, I don't remember the fear and greed index going up so fast before. I really don't. I feel like it used to take more time to go up like that. So it's kind of odd to me. Right now, I am grabbing a little bit more to send over to my account so I can kind of fight getting liquidated here. I don't want to wait till the last minute and I'm trying to do it and it's coming down. But I will scroll down a little bit here. Take a look at the fear and greed index on this chart right now. And just give me like a half a second here, guys. Only take a second. Change my payment option here. At least start the process here. All right, and I'll kind of move as we go through. I'll be keeping an eye at that price. Somebody let me know. I do have an alert, so actually don't worry about it. Anyways, let's go to what is trending. And tonight's episode is called Blockchain Can't Survive Alone. Bridges Explained, episode 3. Just to tease a little bit what we're going to be talking about. I actually, thought about it quite a bit yesterday after the stream because I want people to receive the crypto, IQ raising event, as I always brand it as, but the information that we're trying to go over, the education that we're trying to give. And I have a little bit of a different approach. We're going to see if it helps. Before it was very like facts and almost bullet point style. kind of mix that with a little bit more of like a storytelling, see if that'll maybe help you guys understand what we're trying to put down a little bit more. Katana Inu still trending. This thing is trending. Is this thing doing well? I don't know. Maybe we'll try to launch this in the underground crypto hangout part of the stream. So we have stable, quadruple O, never know what to call it, beat swap. ReUSD obviously is like a stable coin. I don't know why it's above $1. It's a very good stable coin there. Hyperliquid, Stacks, Tether, and I'm saying that because it's higher than $1. First Digital, Flare, trending. That's good to know. Bonk, Tron, Nexo. I've heard of that. I've been over it. I don't really remember exactly what it is. So many coins to keep track of here. Pancake Swap, Polkadot, Virtuals. Nothing new on the radar on the 20 coins searched in the last 7 days. Let's go over to the 20 most visited coins in the last 7 days. Bitcoin, the most visited. That's not surprising. Zama, been over it. Homomorphic encryption. I think they've raised like $52 million or something like that. Not a small fry. Still no token generation event. When they're going to do that, I have no idea, but people are searching it. So somebody somewhere is talking about it. That's what it tells me. When I see something day after day that has no token generation event, that's constantly in this trending, it tells me somebody somewhere is talking about it. People are coming across it somehow, whether it's organic or not. Could be being shilled, I don't know. And they're coming here and they're searching it. So that's very interesting. Solana, Fogo, we talked a lot about Fogo. Fogo is actually the fishing that we're doing here. And I keep this thing running. You just keep hitting all of these spots. It does have like an auto mine, if you will. And you're basically mining this fish token. You'll see when you go to process that you get some extra here from the yield. Once you hold your unprocessed fish, I think it was like 63,000 fish here is what would give me like $10. So it's pretty harsh, but $10 or wait, $5 is what I spent. So I need to make at least $10 and get out and actually be profitable, and that's going to take probably a long time. This is like 1 day of it running. So yeah, because we would have had it about this time in an hour or two. It'll be about 24 hours of it running. I think it cut off last night for an hour or two. So if it's 1,500 times 7, I mean it's 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, like 11,000 a week. It's going to take forever to get to that. That's going to be, to 69,000. Hopefully the value of it goes up at some point. But I just wanted to post that, post it. I just wanted to shout that out because that's what Fogo, that's a part of Fogo. And we will talk about that in just a second. Now, I see that Melissa sent over a super chat. One of the best crypto research streams around. I really appreciate you saying that, Melissa. I certainly appreciate you sending in a super chat. And that is our first super chat of the night. And it is a super chat, one closer to our goal. I don't see why it didn't register for the goal. That's very weird. Let me check that out for a half a second. How's everybody doing on a Wednesday? What's up with the goal? Why didn't that register for the goal? Very weird. I didn't set it for $5 and higher. All right, I removed the goal because that's nonsense. I definitely set it to definitely set that thing to $2 and higher. Now I'm annoyed because that should have counted towards our goal. Our goal is not important. It's just in my head, and it's not something anybody needs to worry about. But thank you once again, Melissa, and thank you for saying that. I do try to work hard to bring some good research to you guys. Now, also, we have Ranger. We have Zen Chain on the radar, this deep node. I'm not really excited about this deep node. The AI plays have not really been playing out. You have this other rain token. We're going to talk about quite a few of those. Brevis is something we've been over several times. Bitnova, Spur was something we went over for the first time yesterday. I don't think it was anything crazy. We might as well start there. Yeah, the less than $1 million raised. Protocol is a decentralized governance. That's not real retail sexy. Like, that's not retail attractive, I don't feel like. Let's go take a look at their Twitter real quick. All right, no cookies. All right, so 291.7 thousand. I am always so surprised at what has a lot of followers. It's getting to the point where it's like, I don't even know if I believe any of this stuff when it comes to the followers. It's I don't want to say it, but it's true. It is somewhat depressing how much stuff in crypto is disingenuine, right? It's not legitimate. And it's crypto, it's Twitter, it's everywhere. Everybody, it's a pay to play. Most places that you go, it's all pay to play. And you can prop yourself up if you have some money, and you can make more money if you have money. So it is what it is. Token generation event, pin post, 62,000 impressions. Camsta says, this is for pumping BTC for me tonight. Thank you very much, Camsta. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sending in a super chat. That one better have gone towards our goal. Otherwise, the thing is just broken. I don't know. But anyways, thank you for being here. So let's get out of this. The Twitter is not really exciting to me right now. Let's get rid of the fear and greed index. We know it's at like 63. That thing jumped really fast though. Oh, that's right. I'm not allowed to look at this. Forbidden error encountered while trying to use an error document to handle this request. So I think it's actually broken on their side of the fence here. Maybe they have a new one. I'm not really sure what it is. It's decentralized governance though, so like I doubt anybody is really bummed that I'm not going over that right now, but maybe you are really bummed about it. Still need to transfer. So Bitnova is a decentralized ecosystem for scalable AI protocols and framework powered by containerized architecture, GPU, accelerated orchestration. That's a word salad for basically GPU, decentralized ecosystem. And Bitnova, obviously, Bit is going to imply some things. Now let's flip that MACD green on the 15-minute. Yeah, that would be awesome. Let's see. What are we? Are we still being held up by the 5? I'm doing it in the background, guys, so you're not going to see what I'm looking at, just for a hair. All right, yeah, we're super flat, not looking great, not getting much pump, but we are just sitting right on the 5-minute 200 MA. And Kamsa says, because of finding you on YouTube, I've learned so much and met so many people that can help me now. I owe you big time. That's awfully nice of you, man. I appreciate you saying that and just letting the people in the chat know that as well. In all honesty, thank you for being here, and I'm glad that it was beneficial to you. That just makes me feel like I'm doing something good, and I need to just keep doing it, right? Even when the market has been really not very great in the last year, we still just keep moving, right? All right. So Bitnova, did we get a little bit of a bounce? It's hard not to watch your trade while you're live, you know. At least like when the lifer's live, he's trading and stuff, so like he's fine to just basically watch his trade the whole time. Where was I? Getting so sidetracked. All right, cool. Let's stop getting sidetracked for a moment here until I do it again. Less than $1 million in market cap for Bitnova. Again, I keep up to date on what a lot of these coins are and the attention around them and stuff. Don't think I'm excited about all of them. This kind of goes with the deep, what was it? Seek Deep or something like that. I don't know, the other AI coin that was on the list. 204,000 followers. Pin post from March 28, 2025. 736,000 impressions. That's great, but they don't really get that kind of impressions on the regular. Pin post usually the biggest. I mean, the pin post on my Twitter has like 12,000 because I paid to promote it, not because it's organic. Twitter, growing in Twitter is just too many people paying way too much money to capture everything over there. The little guy who is just posting and not, I don't know, shit posting or saying crazy stuff on there gets little to no attention, and it is what it is. I'm not complaining. So Ranger, 67 cents. Ranger was cool. Like, when it comes to all the things that we've been going over on crypto rank lately, Ranger was kind of the coolest one, I have to say, as far as new things that have just really come out here. It's at 8.25 million. It's been as high as 8.9. Not very far away. I like the ratio. I've started to look at this a lot more. The all-time high versus the market cap now and how far. It's like when you come to a coin, it's been out for less than a week, and it went from, like, you know, 50 million in market cap, and now it's worth 4. That tells me that thing is probably cooked. If it comes back, it's going to be a great recovery like Solana did. But remember, Solana was a household name. People knew what Solana was. Nobody knows what Ranger is. Well, sorry, Ranger's not one of those coins. Let me say that. But there are many coins that are like that, and nobody knows what they are. Let's go to the website so I can just show off their decks real quick, because I like it. Has a lot of different pairs, and that, to me, I mean, Dex is as good as all the pairs are, right? And you can see there's just so many of them here. It's kind of wild. Give me 1 second. I need to move some money just in case we need it here. Let's go to deposit. On chain, select the network. I always send things in XRP. Use the native network because you basically pay like absolutely nothing. Use the QR code because that makes life super easy. Yo, it makes me so mad. This thing be tripping. It's like when you open the like scan QR code in like Coinbase, it won't read it. It tries to read it like super fast, like immediately, and it's like, then it's like saying that then it'll like, you'll pull it up and it'll before it'll even focus or anything, it'll like act like it scanned it, and then it'll be like, this is not a valid address, and it's like, no, the camera was blurry and you didn't even actually read it. You know what I'm saying? So take a couple more seconds, Coinbase, and let the camera focus, and then read the QR code. Because then when I finally get it to focus after like the 8th time doing it, then all of a sudden it's no problem, and it reads it just fine. All right, let's send that over. What happens to me is if you wait till the last second, you'll get like wicked out while you're trying to change stuff, and that's no good. All right, so enough with that. Apologize for the delay, even though I don't think anybody thinks it's all that big of a deal. It just feels like the right thing to do. Let's add that back in. What is this thing talking about? Jasmine? 23 cents I took on Jasmine earlier. I know you guys are awfully proud of me. I just bailed on it because it wasn't doing anything. So we were talking about Ranger, which I think is a cool DEX. Is anybody excited to trade on another decentralized exchange? That's the thing. Like, Ranger, cool. Maybe with these things, sometimes they capture like certain markets, right? And before you had these kind of decentralized exchanges, they were very specific to a certain ecosystem. Matter of fact, I'd be interested to see what ecosystem Ranger is in. Solana. Okay. But nowadays, a lot of them are so interoperable or across different, networks that it's not really that exciting. You could use one and there's some of them that you can go to the top and you could just change what network you want to be. Like you were in your MetaMask, right? If for those who use MetaMask, how you can just change which network you want to be on in the top. A lot of these perpetual exchanges, several of them that I've seen have that feature. And that kind of takes away needing to have a different decentralized exchange on every network. So like if you want to go trade Solana, you go to one specifically, all of those different things. And now we pretty much have perps all over the place. So I don't know how much room there is in the market for more of this. Even if they built something that's cool, did they build it? Everybody seems to have these decentralized exchanges now. Are they just copy and pasting code? Is it all open source? Like, what is going on? I've been asking that question though for a while. Finally it worked. Then now I got this restricted message. Oh, I'm missing something here. Whoa, this is for the pump. Again, thank you everybody for the super chats. That was awfully nice of you. I have no idea why they're not registering in the goal. Okay, the money has hit. Because of finding you on YouTube, it helped me. Yeah, I owe you big time. That's awesome, man. Let's talk tonight. Dirty Gary. Let's talk night. Oh, okay. Let's talk night. I thought he said like let's talk tonight, and it's the same color as Camsta's. It's like that brownish color, and I thought it was Camsta wanting to talk on like the Discord or something. Yeah, let's talk night. Let's do that. Thank you, Dirty Gary, for being here. It's a very interesting name you got. Hopefully you're on the up and up. Not gonna say something crazy in the chat. I never know who's coming in here. I hope you're a real crypto enthusiast. Welcome to the Underground Crypto Deep Dive Research Show. And I would be glad to talk about some night. Let me just go through this chat real quick and I'll get right there. Are you still here, Gary? Let me know. Throw something in. Throw something in the chat. Let me know you're still here and I'll look at night for you. According to MEXC's terms, services are not available in certain regions. Canada, please contact customer service for any questions. This is my new message on MEXC. Very sorry to hear that. Please use a VPN always when you use MEXC. Yeah, let's talk Night and Cardano. Sure. And as soon as you throw another chat, I will do that. Yeah, that happened with me doing the KYC on. Yeah, don't do KYC when you're outside of it. Yeah, finally it worked. Then now I got this restricted message. Yeah. I thought you thought Dirty Gary wanted to take you. You're hilarious, Camsta. So anyways, I got Midnight pulled up. Midnight is very interesting. It's already $1 billion in market cap. Well, it's been $1 billion in market cap. I love that you can switch your chart to market cap. One point you were at 1.7 billion. That was probably, you know, kind of the height of the hype when this thing first came out or first started getting really trendy. Max chart says it came all the way back to the 9th of December 2025. Melissa said it got spicy in here. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Welcome to the Underground Crypto Deep Dive Research Show. Smash the like button and feel free to subscribe if you love to raise your crypto IQ. There is a link to our free Discord where we hang out when we are not live streaming. And somebody hopped in. They want to talk about Midnight. I don't even know if they're still here. Maybe they just wanted to influence us and they're running off because they already know everything about Midnight. But we'll touch on Midnight here for a minute. So it's got a BNB smart contract. I believe that is a Midnight contract as well. It is. It's a layer 1. ZK knowledge. I told you that's pretty much the cutting edge thing around here is the ZK knowledge. Everything is kind of going from optimistic or whatever protocol they were running into zero knowledge because it's better. Privacy blockchain, so it's got privacy in it. I think that is what has made this thing so exciting to people. It's kind of like Cardano's privacy coin. If you're big on Cardano, which I own some, I'm not big on Cardano. It's been a little lackluster. Not a whole lot of things popping off over there. And it was somewhat intentional. Cardano said they wanted to take the long road and build everything out and make sure everything was tip-top before they launched things. They're not getting ahead of themselves. It makes sense because Charles was a part of Ethereum, and Ethereum did the complete opposite. They launched everything and tried to figure out how to make it all work later. That seemed to work, actually, just because they're the second biggest crypto. So I mean, it wasn't a horrible idea, I guess. Also, timing, it came out way before Cardano. If Cardano would have came out in the same time period, maybe things would be different. So an innovative new blockchain empowering groundbreaking apps that safeguard sensitive commercial and personal data. Testnet is live, so it is a layer 1. It's its own layer 1. I hear it's connected to Cardano heavy, but I don't see that it's like built on Cardano, so it doesn't have a Cardano address either. So maybe it's not. Midnight restores the original promise of crypto. The network is a fourth-generation blockchain built for rational privacy. No one should be forced to choose between utility and privacy. Midnight's architecture enables everyone to verify the truth without exposing their personal data. And it seems like Dirty Gary ran off. He also asked for Cardano as well. Yeah, I'm aware of that. And what are we going to talk about Cardano? Like, Cardano is Cardano. Midnight is, at least, you know, it's a privacy coin. It's supposed to be this fourth generation blockchain. We could get into more about it for sure, but I would like to know that the person is even still here, that they didn't just run in and drop something in the chat and bail. I do want to take a look at this, as it looks like we are losing that 5-minute 200. So I'll give it a minute to see if he wants to say what's going on while I come over here. And I don't have a lot in here. I'm not worried about nobody seeing these balances. I could turn balances off, but as you can see, there's like $400 in here. It's not a big deal. We got to go to the funding account where the XRP landed. Then you transfer that over to the spot account. All of it. All 23 XRP. Nothing crazy. And then now it's over in the spot account. We run to the spot account. We hit trade now. We go to XRP USDT. People are wondering, you know, how you send things over in XRP and then convert them. We convert that over to USDT. We bounce back to our wallet, and then we move that USDT transfer to the funding account. Yes, all of it. Confirm. And let's see if that can help dig us out of a hole here. Now, one thing that I'm always interested in is mitigation. Anybody know what mitigation means? Let's see. Midnight has a CBS symbol. Right? Yeah, it really does. I highly doubt there's actually any connection there. What is the Night token? Night is a unshielded native and governance token of the Midnight network. Midnight uses zero-knowledge smart contracts to enable programmable privacy. Unlike privacy coins designed solely to hide activity, the Night token is public and transparent, unshielded. Its primary, I don't know where I was going with that. Its primary role is to secure the network and generate dust resources that power transaction. I just want to ask ChatGPT something. Newer crypto privacy coin called Midnight. What is its connection to Cardano? Question mark. I want to know what its connection is to Cardano. Is there any? I kept hearing that it was like the privacy coin of Cardano. I'm not really sure. Okay, I don't even know what it is. How it's connected to Cardano. Created by the Cardano founder. Okay, so it was developed by Charles Hoskin. Let's get to the bottom. I just want to get my facts straight because I keep saying it's connected to Cardano. It is, obviously. It was developed by Charles Hoskin. I don't know why he didn't do it like within Cardano. Why did he make like a brand new layer 1? Anyways, its design and launch are closely tied to Cardano's border ecosystem and vision, Cardano's partner chain and settlement layer. Okay, Midnight is built to interoperate. I'm so used to saying interoperability that's just what I want to say. So Midnight is built to interoperate with Cardano. It launched as a partner chain, so it is a partner chain to Cardano network. Cool. See, this is the type of deep dive research that you just might not get everywhere else. Thank you, ChatGPT. Midnight can use Cardano for aspects like settlements and security while operating its own privacy-focused layer. So it's just like an arm or a partner chain of Cardano that's really mostly focused on privacy. It's very interesting. Privacy getting a lot of money flow right now. I wonder how good this thing actually is. Night as a Cardano native asset. At least initially, the Night token exists as Cardano native asset CNA, meaning it's recognized as Cardano's accounting layer and benefits from Cardano's infrastructure for distribution and liquidity. I'm probably reading way too fast. It does seem like the person who asked this question bailed, so I guess this is for the natives here. Yes, I know what mitigation is. Yeah, I kind of got sidetracked there. We're going to come back to mitigation in just a moment because I had a question if anybody knew the answer. And it's not a test. I actually am just wondering if I have this right or wrong. So a privacy layer for cross-chain, DeFi, and more. Hoskin has highlighted Midnight role not just within Cardano, but as privacy-enhanced layer that could bridge with other chains, so it could become a part of other chains, while still connecting back to the Cardano ecosystem. This could expand Cardano's interoperability and utility, private enhancements for Cardano apps. Because Cardano's base layer is a public blockchain where transaction details are transparent, Midnight introduces a complementary privacy layer that could allow developers to build private smart contracts and dApps tied to a broader Cardano ecosystem. I think this is really good. I think this is actually really good for Cardano. Not a whole lot of stuff coming out of Cardano for a while, so to see something here really happen is actually pretty cool. Now, what I wanted to say about mitigation, this is what I want to say about mitigation. So, my understanding of mitigation originally was, you add money. Do I need to refresh this or something? Where's my money? I just added $50 here. What happened? Did I not transfer it to my funding account? Did I not finalize it? No, I did. Futures trading. USDT. Okay, it's there. Then you go to futures. And it's not there. Wow, that's really annoying. So, anybody's guess as to why it's not in my futures account? Do I need to refresh? Even though obviously I did refresh. Alright, that makes no sense at all. Gotta love when these things go wildly wherever. So, let's go to futures account. Yeah, $62. In the balance here in the future account, but available is 50 cents. Why is only 50 cents available? No idea. I have no idea. This makes no sense. And why is there $61 available when I only moved $50? So I'm not really sure about that either. Why are they holding my money in my futures account? What are they doing? Let's see. Maker limit order 0.01. Taker is 0.04. I don't know how that compares to Mexi. Anyways, I guess we just have to then wait. So am I going to get jammed up on trying to mitigate out of this because they decided to hold my money, which is weird because I put money in this account earlier and they didn't do this earlier. So not really sure. Might as well add that 50 cents in there because why the heck not? Amount. So many weird things here. Is anybody else trade on weeks by any chance? Anybody? Anybody at all? And it is isolated combined, so it's combining all my orders into one thing. Right there it said that it added $10 and the liquidation price for the long would be there. It didn't do anything. It didn't add $10 at all. And then another thing is that, and I still didn't get to my full question. So many things going on here. So obviously when you put money on 50x, it's different, right? It's the amount of money times 50 gives you your amount, right? That you're actually in the market for. But I'm not, and that's what, here's your margin down here. But I'm not used to it saying the amount of the trade is what you're in for. Also, I'm in this for $100, and $100 times, it's 97, obviously, but close enough to 100. 100 times 50 should be 5,000, and this just says 3,000 846. So I'm assuming they're giving me my position size, right? That would make a lot of sense. But it's off because it should be more. It's very weird. So here's my question, and I should probably look at what's going on in the chat here. Wasn't Cardano getting close to being a dead project? People were saying that. I don't think it ever actually was. I think they were just saying that because it was the bear market and nothing was going on. But really, nothing was really going on in crypto in general anyways. So it was just more nothing going on than even other cryptos. I don't know why it's trending. It's attached to Cardano, the cult coin. That's hilarious. I mean, Cardano is Cardano, right? It's another take. It's another project. It's another company, if you will, trying to do what they're going to do. They have a totally different approach to everything from their coding language to how they implement and how they go about their roadmap. It may win in the long run. It may not. We'll see. I own a tiny bit of it. I've had it for a long time. I think so. Then it came back alive. No, weeks is also restricted in Canada. Oh, nice. Starting to think Canada. I ran half a lot of code. Yo, that is funny, man. I have an account, but don't trade on it. I'm too used to MEXC. Yeah, I'm very used to MEXC. I never really trade over here. I had some money over here one time, and it got liquidated or something. It was a very small amount of money. It was like $50 that I had over here. This was probably like a year and a half ago, and I have never tried to trade on here before, but because Weeks MEXC requires me to have a VPN, and I don't want to run a VPN while I'm streaming and make my internet even slower than it already would be sometimes when I have a lot running. And so basically, I decided I would use this. But it's just a little bit different. So now to finally get to kind of my question, and maybe Melissa could answer this better than other people. Let's talk about mitigation for a second. I might end up getting a VPN, but now that they already know, will it help? I mean, you could just start a brand new account, I think, with the VPN. You should be fine at that point. I would just find something you can use, as your main. Like, have an exchange you're actually allowed to use in Canada as like your main exchange, and then maybe have like a little side exchange or something that you use with the VPN, like Weeks, or like MEXC or Weeks. I would use those side accounts or whatever that's not your main account. I would use those mostly just to move a little money over, purchase coins that are hard to get other places, and then move them off like immediately or something somewhere else, to a wallet, whatever, hot wallet, cold wallet, whatever it is. Anyways, here's my question about mitigation. I wonder if Melissa knows, because she seems to be a pretty good trader or in tune with a lot of this stuff. So, and I'm learning every day with you guys too. So when you add money to your trade, generally what I would do, since it combines them all together, is I would just add money, go long, it groups them together, combines them, right? And it'll change your liquidation prices. And it doesn't treat them as I have, 7 different BTC trades. Now, on some things, you can go to isolated combine. You can't switch while you're trading, but you could go to where they're actually separated. It's called isolated separated, and it's only available on certain things like BTC. I was trading Jasmy earlier, and it was not available. That's how I wound up on there. Anyways, what I'm trying to say here is under margin, there's a plus, right? And the plus under margin is where you can add to your margin. So adding to your margin should help your liquidation price more than anything. Or does it just add the money to the trade in general and you're pretty much in the same place? That's my question. So also, I didn't have a VPN on my phone. So far, when I found is Kraken. Anybody try that? I haven't used Kraken. I've told the story many times. I used Kraken in the past. Long time ago. Like literally when I was 18, maybe 19, probably 18, 19, somewhere in there. I used to listen to this radio show on my way to work. It was Alex Jones. And, just was young. It was trying to figure out what the heck was going on in the world. I don't listen to Alex Jones now. Not that I hate him, but anyways, he had this commercial that would come on all the time. It was like, buy Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was 50 cents a coin. And so finally, after hearing that for like a month and a half, I went to Kraken. I tried to buy some Bitcoin. I could not figure it out to save my life. And that was that. And to this day, I still don't know if I bought $5 to $20 worth of BTC at that time on Kraken. But Kraken has this wonderful little policy, right, where if you don't log into your account for X amount of time, I think it's 7 years, which is a long time to be fair, but if it's my account, it's in my name, it was my money, it should be my money. But they get to take it, they get to keep it, right? They get to keep all those accounts that haven't logged in 7 years. And no notification, like there's an email attached to it. They could have sent an email, hey, your time's about to expire, you have this money on here. Naturally, they don't do. So I don't actually know if I ever bought any or not, but I just hate Kraken for that reason, and it might not even be their fault. Like, it might legitimately just be my fault. But I'm still salty about the whole thing in general, so I'm blaming Kraken at this point because it's an easy scapegoat for the fact that I didn't buy hundreds of dollars of BTC at 50 cents. That I know about margin. Hey, at least I'm honest. That I don't know about margin. Well, this seems like it is a question for ChatGPT. So many things I always want to say. Really funny, my wife, she posts on Facebook. She's monetized over there. She makes, a couple $100 a month off there. Nothing crazy. She doesn't have no millions of followers or anything. But it's really funny because she made a post. We have a resale business. I've said this many times. She just made a post about, because a lot of her content is resale based, in clothing especially, and she made a post about how she uses ChatGPT to find the brands on things where like the tag's been ripped off and stuff, and people went crazy on how if you use ChatGPT, you're basically the worst person in the world. And I know that a lot of people are just absolutely nuts on the internet. Some of them are probably bots. But anyways, I thought it was funny because then I think about how much time I use ChatGPT on my stream, and I wonder how many people literally don't even give the stream a chance because I use ChatGPT. So maybe they would much like Midnight, right? All this information that we found with Midnight, it did a great job. And I kind of have an idea of what ChatGPT is good at and what it's not. Sometimes I'm surprised on both sides of the spectrum. But anyways, like, would people really rather of me to go on to like 17 different websites or something and spend, 2 hours very spread out giving you this very simple information other than just use an obvious tool? Like, nobody's mad at Google. Google is the Alphabet company that owns Google and other things. They're known, they're a big conglomerate. They're a monster, you know what I mean? And nobody's mad at them. They use energy. They're like, ChatGPT and AI is going to use so much energy, and it's like, we all use energy for everything. That's stupid. Anyways, I just want to say that because I thought it was hilarious. I have to stop talking before I actually use the microphone. So I have a quick question about mitigation when it comes to trading. Can you give me some facts? When adding to a position, usually I would just add more money in a new position and it will just naturally add them together or combine them, as I am an isolated combined over on Weeks Exchange. But there's also a plus button next to margin. If I add it directly to the margin through that plus button, will that go straight to helping my liquidation price? All right, let's see if we get a clear answer out of this. Anyways, small world at Underground. I used to watch Mr. Jones too. I even bought some of his products. I don't dislike the guy. I don't really understand some of the direction he went in. There was some questions about his some of his funding at one point. He didn't really change that much, honestly, but he changed very slightly, and there were a lot of people who didn't like it. I think he was, playing a legal game, as you can see what happened to him. He got sued and found guilty, whatever, for like $1 billion. I don't even think he has $1 billion, but it's kind of wild. Anyways, he wound up being right about a lot of stuff. Back when I used to watch him, a lot of the stuff he was talking about was very right to that. And what else is it? Alex Jones is a character. I'll give him that. Yeah, sometimes he's a little wild. But on the flip side, a lot of the stuff that he's done a lot of research on, he was very right about. You know that he was one of the first people running around saying that the Fed was a private entity and not a government affiliate, not, federal at all. It's about as Federal Express. He was actually who I learned that from. Said, I wonder if it's good at counting the amount of letters in a word. Been watching this YouTuber expose all the flaws in it. Yeah, it has its flaws, right? The thing is, like any tool, right? Like, I don't get my hammer out of my toolbox when I'm on a job and complain about how it does a poor job of driving screws into wood, and that it doesn't do a good job grinding concrete. Like, it's a hammer. I use it as a hammer. They'll get better at stuff over time, but if you know it's bad at something, I don't know. Is it really any point in just sitting there and just making it do something it doesn't do well and I don't know, saying, look, it doesn't do well. Look, this hammer is terrible at cutting wood. Okay, I just accept it and I move on and I use it for what it's supposed to do. I've watched him for years and then had to stop. Yep. I don't hate him either. I was just time to turn him off now. Yeah. He spoke a lot of truth. Exactly. I feel the same way. It was time to just move on to other things, get different angles and different opinions. Yeah. All right, I'll leave that there. I really want to read this real quick because I want to know what the heck I am doing. So when you add more margin collateral to an existing isolated margin position, using the plus button next to margin, you are increasing the amount of equity backing that specific trade. That gives you more buffer to withstand adverse price movement. See, that's what I thought. I tell the story about the time I lost $4,500 trading. This is where I messed up. This is where I didn't know what I was doing. Painful lesson. Let's see if I can avoid that again. And I'm still trying to figure out why the heck my money hasn't come through. Why? It's always like everything is against you sometimes. I mean, I'm a little bit far away from my liquidation, not on a crazy wick, I'm not, but somebody explained to me why all of a sudden now when I'm trying to add money, all of a sudden it's not showing up. See, and then now we're dipping for my liquidation price relatively quickly, I might add. That was a nice little move down. And you just finally dipped under this liquidity here at this double bottom. So maybe that's all they were trying to do. Let's hope that it was just a stop hunt here. But anyways, and now all of a sudden, even though I've added money to my account and everything, I can't access it for some stupid reason. Very frustrating, I have to say. That type of crap is very frustrating with these different exchanges. Honestly, if that ends up not that I'll get liquidated because I'll exit before then, but I'll still lose a lot of money. See, and now it says $50 instead of $60. Very weird. Why isn't it available? It's in my futures account. It's really making me kind of mad here. Futures account to the futures. Can we just send it from a futures account to also? Oh, it's a funding account. Sure, do we have to just wash it all around in order to get it to be available? It makes no sense. From funding to futures. Google is calling me. No, thank you. Confirm. All right, so back to the futures account. It's obviously now there's $100. This makes no sense. There's not $100 in my futures account. What is it doing? And none of it's available. Does this make sense to anybody? I've never had this problem. I don't use weeks a lot. Obviously, I've said that. This makes no sense to me. So $50, it was $60. Okay, now it says available. Okay. I don't know why I had to do that in order to make it available. That was really annoying. Okay, finally it's available. And I really want to add, I want to test this out, right? So we have 97 in margin, which is weird because there's really just $97 in the entire trade. I'm thinking this through with you guys, so I hope you guys don't mind. Everybody says they want more trading, so here we are. So let's add $20 to to it. Confirm. And so my liquidation right now is at 95. It went to 94. So, I mean, I guess I'm going to assume that if I added another, I don't know what, $15. Let's add that. Does it charge me a fee? So that got me down to like 94,000. See, that's good to know. That is where I messed up. I never, I guess, had to lose that $4,500 if I would have just put more collateral behind the trade. Dang. I missed that part in the master leverage class. Anyways, let's segue out of this. I spent way too much time on that. It was really good to know. I hope you guys learned something. Said, be careful. I don't want your account wiped out because the world can see it. I don't know how they would wipe it out. Like, don't they need to, like, actually log in? I don't know. I mean, if they get this little tiny account, I guess good on them. But, I don't know. The lifer uses his stuff. I mean, I could hide my balance. Oh, they can see my... Oh, okay. You're right. All right. Well, that is what it is. I guess I'll be sending all of my money somewhere else as soon as I'm done streaming. I don't know. If they're able to get into it, then there's obviously protocols. You know, there's 2FA authenticators and Google authenticators. And I'm not going to say which ones I use specifically, but there's all kinds of different ones, right? And like my phone number doesn't show. I guess all they have is like my actual account number. And I guess if Weeks just decides to give somebody access to my account without any credentials, that would be pretty crazy. But also they would be responsible for it, so I'd hope they'd honor it. And I am under the Lifer's tag, who has a great relationship with them, so I am under his link, so he'd probably be able to help me out a little bit too. All right, talking about all kinds of things, but I appreciate your concern for sure, because I mean, who knows? Anything can happen in crypto, right? They could hack my computer right now and take me for everything, I guess. Maybe. Wink, wink. There's literally nothing on this computer. So we talked about Midnight. We talked about its connection to Cardano. That was pretty interesting. We talked about this margin. I hope somebody learned something, because this is actually really actually important. Like, and this is a mistake. If I've been trading for as long as I have and used several different exchanges, and I still wasn't 100% sure on this and wasn't good at this, then I'm gonna just go ahead and assume there's a lot of people who don't know this and aren't you know, well versed on this. So if you're trying to lower your, you know, liquidation price, whether short or long, use that add to margin button instead of just adding to your position, right? Your liquidation price is driven by a formula that includes price entry, position size, leverage used, margin or equity, and maintenance margin required. Adding more margin increases your own capital relative to your leverage exposed, lowering your effective leverage and therefore pushing the liquidation price further away from the current market price. Cool, that's good to know. And it looks like we're getting a little bit of a pump, maybe, kind of. No, not really, but it does look like we wicked into this. Let's pull it up. Basically, I'll just make this bigger. I was going to pull up trading views. Not really worth it. So you had this kind of double bottom here, from here and here. And then this is very common, like stop loss hunting stuff. People who got in here and their stuff ran and they were up here. This is where it was hunting. Hopefully that's all it was hunting and it's not hunting on a bigger time frame there. And yeah, I have Bookmap open on my other laptop over here, and now that we flush this, everything is flipped to the upside. The liquidity has. Those tools are very helpful. Definitely very helpful. All right. So let's go back to Midnight, right? And get rid of that. That person never came back. They just asked a question and left. That was really weird of them. I don't know who does that. Maybe a, Midnight Maxi, just trying to hop channel to channel, get people to talk about it, to pump his coin, I guess. Maybe that's his strategy. I don't really know. Rain was another new one on the radar. We got to finish our what is trending analysis here. So Rain is a financial technology company that helps businesses issue payment cards globally. Payment cards. Everybody needs a payment card. Coinbase Ventures website. A full stack for the full flow of money. Says I've mitigated in the past. Oh, okay, I understand now. I've always added to my position. Yep, I've been doing it wrong the whole time. Exactly, Melissa. That's exactly what I was doing. That's exactly what I was doing, right? And so there you go. So the full stack for the full flow of money. Rain's infrastructure powers a more fluid financial system. Our end-to-end platform lets you unlock the benefits of stablecoin backed cards and payments with speed, flexibility, and global. I'm going to move on from this. I don't know how excited you could be about payment cards. They've raised $338.5 million. So, I mean, it's significant for sure. Definitely significant. And there was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, Fogo. We'll pull up Fogo for a minute. So Fogo is a high-performance Solana virtual machine layer 1 blockchain designed to deliver real-time experience at scale. Got too many other random thoughts going in the background. 15 million raised. Let's go to the website real quick. Of course, this is where we found the whole the Fogo phishing. I talk about that a little bit. We started it since yesterday. I talked about it the day before, right? And you have these Fogo sessions. So gasless, wallet agnostic, built for traders. So what's really interesting about it is when you go there, you can kind of just log in for a whole week at a time. And you can update your limits even within that week. So basically, you don't have to keep signing for everything all the time. It's very interesting idea. I don't know exactly what it's working off of as far as like actual blockchain technology. I don't know how they're doing that. But it is kind of interesting. And I used that feature when I went to, the whole phishing thing. How did we even get to the phishing thing is what I'm trying to remember. Where did that come from? Go to mainnet, maybe? Explore mainnet. Explore mainnet, maybe? No, that takes us here. Learn more? No? I'm trying to even remember how the heck we even got over there. Oh, start fishing. Here it is. Fish while you wait. Pick up your rod and cast every transaction. And that's what took us over here. We bought a NFT, or I bought an NFT. For $5, the boat. They have a demo where you can basically fish, and it does absolutely nothing because it's a demo, so you don't get anything for it. So I bought the $5 fishing boat. In retrospective, kind of wish I would have bought the $10 fishing boat, but that would have just took me longer to break even. And you're just fishing. They turn red for a second until they process through the blockchain, and they turn green when you hit. I don't think I did leave it running overnight, so maybe there was something, but I don't think I've ever hit anything more than a common fish, which is really funny because in the demo I hit like a mythical fish, and although this looks like a fishing game, like I guess what you're really doing is mining the block explorer, or mining, the blockchain. How exactly that helps anything, if that's even the case, maybe this is just a project on it. I don't really know, but they have a halving like every 14 days. And this is rolling into the third halving, and then they'll have a fourth halving. It would have been a lot better if I got in on the first halving. Seems a little narrow-sighted if you ask me. So it's like, what do we do after the fourth halving? Are there any more halvings? I hope not, because they'll dwindle this thing down to nothing. It'll be pointless to even do. So that is, I think, an interesting concept. But nonetheless, we bought $5 for the channel to check it out, and that's what we're doing. Oh man, we're just continuing to dip here, so that wasn't the. Oh man, this thing's crazy if you ask me. I'm glad to be lower than where the start of this all happened from. Of course, being in the trade, I'm going to keep talking about it, guys. So the 786 is 95.475. And how a lot of times I trade is I'll wait for these highs, and that's where we were. I should have pulled my fib, and I did pull my fib just to look, and I should have set my prices down here. I was looking for a quicker pump. I wasn't patient, and it'll get you. It'll definitely get you when you're not patient here. Oh well. So let's go to top gainers, top losers of the day. No Blues guy. Where the heck is Blues guy? Maybe he had a rehearsal tonight. I feel like I've been saying that lately. I don't know. He wasn't here yesterday. Well, he was eventually here yesterday. And then he left early. I don't know what the heck he's been doing. I got to talk to him. Not that he has to be here. I just mean I would legitimately want to know what's going on. Legacy token, 161% in the last 24 hours. Anybody know what legacy token is? 174.2 million in market cap. Came out back January 13th, 2026. Same thing, man. I'm down $7. Hey, I would like to be down $7. I'm down like, I don't know, $40 or something like that. $50, probably $50. Now you have me wondering. Yeah, I'm down $44. I do have a lot of confidence that this thing is going to turn around. It might not really be until tomorrow, but I'm not going to sleep well without lowering that liquidation, because even 94, it's like at night they could wick you down there pretty hard. Looks like I'll be up all night, right? So we were talking about Fogo. I explained how we got to the whole phishing thing. Now we're talking about legacy token, as it is the top gainer of the day. In the last 24 hours, it said it was up a lot. Maybe that was on the 7-day. Let's go back. No, it says 161% in the last 24 hours. But it's really weird when you go to the 24-hour. Maybe it was just like broken. So weird. I don't know what's going on anymore. This is very flat. This looks very scammy. This doesn't look natural at all. Yeah, look, and then I go back to the 24-hour, and it's not the same price because I'm in the market cap. That's what it was. Okay, now that we figured that out, again, from January 13th, 2026, this is a new token, 720 million max supply, but the circulating supply is only 106 million. Market cap 174.3 million. BNB, Base, and Ethereum contracts here. It gives you an idea of the ecosystem and networks are in. It says it's education and GameFi. Well, they got my attention. Let's go check it out. The future of education, powered by AI and blockchain. So we got education. I don't know where the GameFi comes in. Our mission is to make education engaging and accessible as entertainment. Take advantage of gamified and rewarding experiences. Tap to play. Test your personal development knowledge. Just like raising your crypto IQ. Did they beat me to this? Be one of the first to join our revolution of education. Wow. Well, somebody had the same idea that I did, and they implemented it before I did. So be very interesting to see how well they do here. Discover tailored tools and resources to unlock your full potential and achieve lasting growth. So legacy wallet, a self-custodial crypto wallet, further project, and they're all about education. I assume there'll be little courses and stuff on there. Well, I guess I'll see how this goes. Legacy token is a weird name for it. You would think it would have something around like actual like education, like education token or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's too unoriginal. Same thing. I'm scared to leave it run overnight. Should I remove my stop loss? I don't know, man. That's a decision you have to make. If you do, you might get liquidated. Yeah, or you might get liquidated. I don't know how much money you're playing with. Getting liquidated for $30 is not a big deal. Getting liquidated for $4,500 on the other hand is a big deal. So other people, that's not even a big deal. So I don't know. It's all perspective. Firo, the other privacy coin, it's getting 25. So all these privacy coins are getting Firo, private, Dash, They all are private. Even ICP has elements of privacy to it as well. ICP is it's a cool project. The tech's really cool, but a lot of people don't care when the price doesn't move. They just don't care. All right, then we have Move, Dolomite we talked about yesterday. We dug into Dolomite yesterday. Horizon, again, another privacy token. So we're seeing all the privacy tokens get back up and go, right? So Chint AI, we talked about that before. Gains Network. I don't know anything about this token. Let's go to their website. 27.7 million. Let's see what the max chart says. Oh, the thing's been out since 2021. Okay. I'm not interested in it now, honestly. Cajun was on our radar for like a long time. And, I don't know. The max chart doesn't look horrible at all. Just looks like it's done up and down in a range for a while. Oh. It keeps glitching. Like, we were on max, but it was actually the 24-hour. October 6, 2025. This is the 24-hour. But see how it turns black when you're on one of them? So it was like highlighted like this, but it was showing me the 24-hour. Keeps doing weird glitchy stuff. I don't know what that's about. And top loser of the day, Story IP down 26%. It had pumped yesterday. Helder, don't know anything about that one. Volume super low. Or was, I remember when Orhan was here. I think it's funny because they rhyme. I asked him to look into that, and he said he would. He never did. So, and then he left. So, Debt Relief bot. Hey, all I can say is I'm glad he didn't leave because of something I did or because he didn't like me. It had something to do with somebody else in the chat, who also I haven't seen here in a long time. All right, so next I'm just grabbing these real quick. I probably shouldn't do this while I'm streaming, but I'll save it for the hangout. But I want to keep this little bit of BNB mining going. I want to see what I can get over, you know, say like a month. Then I'll decide if it's even worth doing anymore. Let's go to our IQ raising event of the night. Now, like I said, I was trying to structure this a little bit different. So we'll see how it goes. It's good that this is a Wednesday night stream. There's not a lot of people here right now. I mean, that part's not great, but we're doing something a little bit different. So you guys are going to have to kind of give me some feedback and tell me how much you like this versus the regular way that we do this. Luckily, you guys are always here for the stream, so you know how this normally goes. You'll have to let me know how you like it. So when crypto first started, it didn't feel like one ecosystem. It felt like a bunch of separated islands. Bitcoin was its own world. Ethereum was another world. Solana, Cosmos, Avalanche, each one built their own rules, their own communities, and their own tools. And at the time, that made sense for where we were in crypto. Everyone was trying to survive and prove that their tech worked. But as crypto grew, those islands became a problem. Because money doesn't like being stuck. Developers don't like rebuilding the same app 10 times for each ecosystem, and users don't like juggling 5 wallets just to move around funds. That's where interoperability enters the picture. I hope that actually helped you understand why interoperability is such a big deal even now. So why isolation broke scaling? Imagine if your bank couldn't talk to any other bank. You'd have to open multiple accounts, move cash physically, pay insane fees, and trust middlemen. That's basically what early crypto looked like. Liquidity got trapped, capital became inefficient, and developers duplicated work. Users suffered. Crypto wasn't failing, it was fragmented. Okay. Hey, I just saw. All right, let's see if this is any better. I'm waiting for it to catch up. Testing. Testing. Is it any better? I don't know. I don't know why it would just start cracking all of a sudden out of nowhere. I reset the microphone. I just kind of waiting for the stream to set up. Somebody drop in the chat. Is it fixed? Is it fixed? It said my liquidation is 89K. Well done, Camsta. I don't think it's going down there. Hey, I've said that a lot of times before. It's clear. Okay, cool. All right, so where did it start cracking up at? Do I just have to start over here? I really do like the way that it set this out. Much better. Awesome. I don't know if I bumped it with my hand or something like that. So let's talk about the IQ raising event. And again, we're putting this more in a story format for you so that maybe it's a little bit better and easier to picture and understand. It says when crypto first started, it didn't feel like one ecosystem. It felt like a bunch of separate islands. Bitcoin was its own world, Ethereum was another. Solana, Cosmos, Avalanche, each one built their own rules, their own communities, their own tools. And at the time, that made sense. Everyone was just trying to survive and prove their tech worked. But as crypto grew, those islands became a problem because money doesn't like being stuck. Developers don't like rebuilding the same app 10 times. That is a huge pain point for the ecosystem and for infrastructure, right? If there's something that's critical, they don't want to have to build it in 10 or even more nowadays different ecosystems. Beautiful. Now we messed up something else. Love that. Wow. When it rains, it pours, right? So yeah, because money doesn't like being stuck, developers don't like rebuilding the same app 10 times, and users don't like juggling 5 wallets just to move funds. That's where interoperability enters the picture. I just wanted to finish that before we talk for a minute. Hello, it says hello, brother. Welcome back. Appreciate you being here. We had a couple technical issues, but we solved them as far as I know. All right, so now we're good, right? So, anybody, if I could get a little bit of feedback. I like that Melissa says, I miss you, El Cheeto. Yeah, it's a shame. I really miss El Cheeto as well. So, it says, I'm Manav from India. Adi Manav. Okay, well, welcome in. I remember your name from the other day. I remember I was trying to figure out exactly how to say it. Thanks for breaking it up there a little bit. All right. So, yeah. Why isolation broke scaling. So, for Manav, who's here now, we're going over, some things about crypto. We're talking about scaling. We're talking about how crypto used to be very isolated. And now we're talking about why that isolation broke scaling, like, scaling in a business or, expanding, being able to take on more things. So imagine if your bank couldn't talk to any other banks. You'd have to open multiple accounts, move cash physically, and pay insane fees. Trust middlemen. That's basically what early crypto looked like. A lot of people don't realize that. Liquidity got trapped, capital became inefficient, developers duplicated work, and users suffered. Crypto wasn't failing though, it was just fragmented. That's what interoperability really means. That's why it's so important. That's why you hear me talk about it a lot. What most people think interoperability just means moving tokens. But that's surface level. Real interoperability means chains talking to each other, apps coordinating, and systems sharing state. It's not just value, but it's about communication. Now, we've talked about the intent layer or the category, ANOMA, where they talk about intent. You couldn't do anything like that. Like, you couldn't have like a ChatGPT of crypto that automatically moves stuff around for you unless you had interoperability. So what a bridge actually does. Now, a bridge is going to be kind of a big focus part of what we're talking about here. So here's the part that surprises people. Nothing actually moves across chain. Your tokens don't teleport. Instead, your assets get locked up on chain A representation is minted on chain B, or a message is verified and an action is triggered. It's mirrors, IOUs, and proofs. You're trusting systems to keep those balances honest. Anybody else think that when you use bridges that it was actually bridging across? Because it's not. Liquidity bridges versus messaging bridges. So these are our two types of bridges, right? Let me slow down and make sure everybody understands. You have liquidity bridges and you have messaging bridges. There are the two main models. Obviously, there's some outliers that are different, but those are your two main models. So a liquidity bridge locks your tokens, mints a wrapped version on the other chain, and creates a massive honeypots. Messaging bridges pass instructions on to the other chain, trigger smart contract, and coordinate applications. Liquidity bridges move money. Messaging bridges move information. Long-term information wins. The trust problem. So you can see how you could have a little bit of a trust problem here. Image and Mike good now. Thank you very much. Have the best mods. Thank you very much. The trust problem. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Every bridge trusts something. This is why bridges, right here, I'm sure it'll get to it in a minute, but right here is why bridges are the main exploit in crypto. It's the reason why bridges are where the most money has been lost in crypto, to my knowledge, across the board. It's because there's trust here somewhere. There's like a third party, there's smart contract, there's messaging, all the things we just talked about. And that is a problem. It's a place where you could be exploited. So every bridge trusts something. Validators or oracles, multi-sigs, or light clients. There is no trustless bridge yet. Only trust minimized or risk redistributed. That's why bridges keep getting hacked. Yep, they're going to get into it hopefully. They hold massive funds, run complex code, and attract hackers. They're money pots. Why people still use them? Even knowing the risk, people still bridge. Why? Because better apps exist elsewhere. Yields are higher, communities migrate, capital flows, opportunity. People accept the risk when rewards feel worth it. So the future of chain abstraction. One thing also is that bridges are a pain point for users. They can be very complicated to even figure out what bridge you're supposed to be using. So we've talked about abstraction a lot. Hopefully, my regulars here at least know what abstraction means. So the real end game. Users stop caring about chains. You click a button, system routes the TX, the best path chosen, gas abstraction. This is also the same idea as the intent layer or the category of intent. You never see a bridge, you never see fees, and you never see a wallet. Chains become back-end service or servers, invisible. That's what you want, because that'll bring all the people who are scared of crypto into crypto. App-centric crypto. In the future, apps decide what chain to use, where liquidity lives, and how settlement happens. Chains compete behind the scenes. On the front end, it's one app, one experience. In the back end, 10 blockchains working together. Shared security. We're already seeing Cosmos zones, Polkadot parachains, and restaking models. Restaking, we've talked about, is for securing other projects using Ethereum security layer. Security gets pooled. Instead of every chain securing itself, they share protection, reduce risk, and coordinate upgrades. How's everybody feeling about it? Is this better than the way that I normally do it? I'm gonna pause for a half a second and drink something because I haven't done that yet. And we've been streaming for an hour and a half. Got some hot tea here. Just what you need when you're streaming. Let's see how hot it actually is. too bad. It's just barely warm, actually. Does anybody like this better? Can I get any kind of feedback on this at all? Or does everybody just pretty much blank out the minute that you see this ChatGPT come up? Let's let this thing refresh here. Let's check on our trade. Melissa says, sure. Okay. Okay. So now we're what? Just hanging out right here on that line where we grab some liquidity. Doesn't look good, I'll tell you that much. It looks a lot like this. It's setting up. Try to break up that part of the show. Who knows? Maybe I just need to completely remove the whole IQ raising part of the show. Maybe it's more for me than anybody else. We'll bring it back when we're bigger or something. Let's see, where are we at? Well, there's zero guarantee that that's what's happening here. I mean, maybe if we're really lucky, you've got like this very slanted, inverted head and shoulder. We've just been absolutely held down by the 21-day moving average on the 5. So I guess whenever we get above the 21 and actually hold it, and we did have a cross of the 200 and the 21 on the 5. Let's go to the 15. Yeah, we're still super far away. Super far away from that 200. Hopefully that's not what's going on here. Hopefully we're grabbing liquidity and then we're going to move back up. Let me check out Bookmap real quick. Very little actually going on here for Bookmap. Let's see if we zoom out where the best liquidity is. There is quite a bit of liquidity up at 98, 98.5, and 99,000. And even up into 101,005. Not crazy amounts. There's 300 Bitcoin at 98,000. There is 300 Bitcoin at 98,500, and 219 Bitcoin at 99,000. There's only 176 Bitcoin at 95,500. There's 110 BTC at 95,000. All those are smaller numbers. They're also a lot closer. Okay, there we are. Just wanted to check this out real quick. I'm not that deep into crypto where I play with all the features offered like bridging. I just stake on exchanges. On the exchange I trade on. I never was a fan of bridging. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's kind of like a necessary evil, you know? It still definitely exists today. Honestly, what I like to do more than bridge is send the money back to Bitcoin, you know, or to Coinbase. Sorry, send the money back to Coinbase if you really need to bridge, and then exchange it for what you are, and then send it. And you can do that with pretty much any exchange. You basically use the exchange as a bridge if it's accessible. Sometimes you get into like niche things and there's like no way to get your money over. It's a totally different world now. You don't need to use it as much, but really understanding this stuff I think is kind of critical. It also kind of plays into the whole series. Honestly, if you get nothing else out of what we've talked about so far, just understand why most exploits happen on bridges. Hopefully, like, if that's all you got, then you're doing pretty all right. So roll-ups make this hard. Roll-ups made scaling easier, but interoperability harder. Now we have layer 1s, layer 2s, app chains, and side chains. More connection equals more complexity equals more attack surface, more places to attack, if you will. So who controls interoperability? Here's the twist. In the future, power won't sit with chains and protocols. It'll sit with routers, aggregators, wallets, and UX layers. UX is like userability, front end stuff, what the user would see. Whoever controls routing, the routing controls the behavior. So if we get like a lot of this abstraction, what they choose to route your money through is going to really also control what rails behind the scenes actually get used and where the money flows, and really who wins in crypto. If they decide like we're going to route everything through Ethereum because it's the safest, but maybe not the fastest or the cheapest, but it's the safest and most secure, and we want to guarantee our users security, so we're going to route everything through Ethereum, then a bunch of money is going to flow through Ethereum. So who controls this routing is actually a big deal. So you can see how the knowledge compounds from like, what is a bridge, how did it go, where did it come from in the inception of crypto, why did we ever care, why did we need it, to where we're going in the future and how that all works with the way that we're going into like chain abstraction, wallet abstraction, intent layers. This will probably make this knowledge to you will be more beneficial probably in 3 or 4 years when things move on and they're even more complex than they are now, and people have no idea about it, and you'll already have a bit of an idea. I mean, that's why I understand this, is because I've been researching and looking at this stuff for several years. Anyways, so what's the trade-off here? We're balancing sovereignty versus coordination, freedom versus efficiency, and decentralization versus usability. There is no perfect answer, only trade-offs. The core insight is crypto will not become a one chain to rule them all. It will become a one experience powered by many chains. Invisible infrastructure. In closing, bridges are risky, but isolation is worse. To interop is messy, or interoperability, to move in between chains is messy and dangerous, absolutely inevitable, because money moves, users move, and crypto doesn't stop evolving. All right. And that is kind of the end of our IQ raising event for the night. I hope you enjoyed that part of the series. Anybody who watches later. Bridging to me was just another way to take our money. I mean, bridging should give you, other than a fee, which you pay for anything, but bridging should give you the assets that you have on the other side of to where you're bridging them to. It should be a 1-for-1. You shouldn't really lose any money other than a simple transaction fee, which would be something we're rather used to paying in general. Trying to figure out how I could show you Bookmap. I guess I need to re-download it on this computer, huh? I tried to move it over to my external hardware. Hard drive? External hard drive. I don't know why I call it hard drive. And then I messed it up and I got to re-download it. Otherwise, I'd love to show you it. So this right here, the continuation pattern, was just an idea. It still could happen. It's still filling out here. But we are hanging above that white line, which was this double bottom here. Be easier to show you on my actual trading view. But we'll deal with this for now so I don't have to actually move it all around. And so we are above that, which is good. That is a good thing. If we could close a candle above it, would be nice. On the 3-minute or 15-minute, so I don't know when we're closing. It's probably going to be a little while. Let's see. I'm sure the 5-minute. No, 5-minute. I don't think the 5-minute closed above it yet. Down to the 3-minute. Really love the 3-minute time frame. If we could just get back above that 21, maybe we could do something. Anyways, yeah, if we could close a few candles above that, then maybe we could do all right. I honestly see like another, if we are just grabbing liquidity here, I still see maybe another wick into that liquidity, which looks like might be what you're getting right now. So Asia apparently is not the savior. And it seems like maybe Asia's going to continue to dump us here. Looks like next move is 95,426. Yeah, there you go. So what's really important to me is, do we break this wick we made right there? That's what I want to know. I don't really see money printer model here yet, but maybe we're moving towards that. Let's see what any good patterns on the 1 minute. Really just looks very range bound trading in this up down up down up down. Shoulder, head, shoulder, or is it shoulder, head, shoulder? You see, when you're range bound and you just go up and down, you make inverted head and shoulders, you make regular head and shoulders. Who's to say which one is the real one that's actually playing out? I think that's a lot of people's question. Said, I did enjoy this episode, deep diving into bridges. Thank you. I did understand everything you said. Everything. Well, that's really good to hear. I think we're going to try to continue with the more story, putting it in a little bit more of a story format so that you can kind of imagine, it a little bit better, and that might help everybody understand it. And we'll continue to do that. I'd like to hit a stream where we have everybody on and I could get a little bit more feedback, although I greatly appreciate your feedback, Melissa and Camsta. And like Camsta said, like, he doesn't really know about it and it's not really relevant to him because he just uses exchanges. And, we're past the time where bridging was so important. I remember spending hours trying to figure out how to bridge assets to different places. One that I remember is trying to bridge money I had on Ethereum over to Harmony 1 to like play a game or something. I was just trying to try out a new game. Harmony 1 was a new layer 1 blockchain at the time. And I just wanted to try out a game. I was trying to move like that, and that's where it gets even more annoying because I really needed to move like $5 to play, but then you have minimums on the bridge, and then you have Ethereum fees, and it is such a pain. But I'm glad that I haven't had to deal with that in a really long time. Let's see. We're still doing this fishing game over here. Sure feels like a Wednesday today, doesn't it, guys? Anybody else? Anybody else feel like it feels like a Wednesday? The trading was a bummer because I've been finding so many good trades, and then I actually hop in to start trading, and it was super lame today. And one thing that messed me up a ton here was that because when it was a Mountain USDT, right? Like, I can move this over. Oh, is it not going to do it anymore? Or maybe I changed it. I'm not sure. But it would say like, $500. Or I could come over here and I could type in like $5, right? But it didn't actually give me $5 out of my $15. It would give me like $5 out of my full amount that I could use. So it'd be like 15 times 50, and then I use $5. So like, I think I'm putting $5 in the trade, and I really am putting like 50 cents in the trade. That was pretty lame. That was really lame. And then so I got some really good entries, but I was trying to figure out how in the world $50 times 50 was only like, and then it was up like 20% or something, and it was like 16 cents profit, and I was like, this makes no sense. Then I finally figured out what was going on, but at that time could have had some better entries. And it looks like we are not doing so well right now. It looks like they're coming for everybody. Everybody who thought there was a move here, everybody who thought something good was going to happen, they're coming for you. Typical BTC behavior here. I mean, it's still like everybody's acting like we're moving on to something else. This is still so typical behavior that we watched in like 2025. And so this Adam and Eve, inverted Adam and Eve, or I guess you could also kind of call it a double top. You could call it an M. It looks like its measured move is back down to the bottom here. And that would be 94,900. And what's my liquidation? 94,185. Okay, there's a little bit of wiggle room. Honestly feel like I should probably just add the rest of my 15 bucks to margin. Just call it a day there. Said week is going by fast, that's for sure. Yeah, it sure feels like it. Did you check out any of those games in the DeFi game section of the Discord I posted last night? Yeah, I actually did pull up a couple of them. I actually was looking at them again in like the middle of the day today. Quite a few of them I needed some Monad to actually play, and I don't own any Monad, so I kind of have to get some Monad in a wallet to play them. A lot of them weren't like games though. They were just like flip this digital coin and, you know, or the burger, I guess, and call heads or tails. I don't know if that's worth like really buying Monad and moving it to a wallet. There were some other ones too. Maybe you added a couple more. I'm not sure. Let's see. What did Bankroll say here? Okay. Appreciate you guys letting, I see everybody went and let Bankroll know that we were live. 12 top games on Sweet. I don't think I got into these. Actually, that would be a lot of fun to get into these. Crazy to think that we've already been live for 2 hours. That really happened fast. Can get rid of this midnight one. And for me right now, I guess I'm just mostly chilling on this trade that I'm in that is absolutely going terrible. This always happens to me. This is why I don't trade a lot, because it doesn't seem to matter. Doesn't matter what I do. It always goes the opposite direction of wherever I get in at. But I will check out those ones that you put on Sui, Melissa. Yeah, Camsta, I feel you. And it's so dumb because when I'm not trading, I'll pull plenty of trades. I'll put measured moves. They'll look super great. And then I just won't be patient enough. When I actually get some money in the account, I'm not patient. And then I add too much money to it and so on and so forth. With it dipping, I'm just going to add my last 15 bucks here and see how low it gets me in liquidation. Okay, 93,800. There we go. I'm in it with you, Kimasabi. Yeah, at least we could definitely connect over this nonsense. And look, it's been the same thing. You had it here. Let's go to Trading View. Let me jump over to Trading View real quick. And we got BTC, except for I'm on like the 5. Let's go to the 1. And yeah, I mean, this is why they say a lot of times, right here, this is why a lot of times they say once you lose the 200 1 minute, get the heck out of there. And I know better. It's just hard to hit the button when it happens. And I have a little, at this point when we lost this 1 minute, I still had like half of the money I had in there. So I was like, oh, I'll just add, I'll just add to my my trade at that point. Yeah, I added and we just kept going. So again, just like normal, we would say there's 0 point in actually getting in a trade if you weren't already in one until you get above the 1 minute 200. I'm not going to believe that this dump has changed at all until we get above that 1 minute 200. And what are we coming for? We're going to the 15 minute 200. There's the 7. You're under the 5 now considerably. Like, where are we going? Yeah. And we've been pumping for a minute. This is what happens when you lose the parabolic curve. That parabolic curve is sweet, until you lose it. And And when you lose that parabolic, it's also really good when you're in a parabolic curve to keep it up so you can see when you definitely lost it, right? And it very much seems like that inverted Adam and Eve playing out. Again, let's grab that measured move over here on TradingView. You could call it an M if you want, a double top if you want. Doesn't really matter what you want to call it as long as you get the measured move. And again, that would take you to about 94,667 if you want to get really specific. And it really seems like that would be I want a full ray here, horizontal. Looks like that's pretty much your support and resistance flip. You can see that it was, where's my drawing brush? All right, there it is. So you can see here it was resistance, you got above it. Here it was support, you bounced off of it, you came down, tested this. It was, okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. So you can see here, this new level, which was resistance here, support here, and now you just fell through that. So typically, what a lot of times Master Friend will teach from my memory is that this wick that you have here really coincided with this wick that you had there. When you lose that, you're usually going to the next wick. So pretty much would expect us to come down to 95,300. So to 95,300 you go. That's what it seems like to me. It's bounced to the 15. Yeah, it's definitely a lot closer to the 15. And you got to think that this 15 is going to come up as we come down. So they'll probably meet somewhere in the middle. It just depends on how quick. I mean, you could go straight down, I guess. It just kind of depends on how quick we go down. Do we bounce out and go sideways? You know, do we make some kind of something here and that slow us down and give time for that 200 to come up? Maybe it'll coincide right around this level here, but that's that other wick there. What were we on, the 5? Is that where I found that wick? Yeah, so right here. Yep. And as I was saying, when we were way up here, your moving averages were really far apart. We'd had a lot of pump. Parabolic curve had been going on for a while. Wonder how many years it's going to take for me to put all of it together at one time and not miss things. Like, why didn't I have my parabolic curve drawn? Why did I get into a trade when we were obviously hitting resistance where we had previously hit resistance? You know, you got to do some reflecting on why you went wrong. Like, because I got in here, which was kind of stupid. I mean, in one respect, it looked like it was flagging out. And I've seen a lot of these upward trending flags break out really hardcore. And I started small, right? When I first got in the trade, I didn't put a ton of money into the trade, right? So I thought I was pretty safe. You know, I had plenty of money on the sideline to add to margin and stuff like that, to add to my position. And I added it a little bit too soon, too quickly. And I waited for the dip to add. I just didn't think we were going to keep going for so long, which is something I should have always anticipated, because that's my experience. That's what's happened to me a lot of times. Every time I get a little bit better, but I always go back and reflect on these different things and think, where did I, make obvious mistakes? Another very obvious mistake was not getting out when we lost the 1 minute. I probably was down like $3 when we lost this 1 minute, maybe 5. And you're like, oh, I don't want to lose the $5 or whatever. And I have money on the side to, mitigate, quote unquote, or add to my position. So I thought it would play out good, come down a little bit. And here we made a nice inverted head and shoulder. I waited until we made that double bottom and started on this other shoulder. They don't play out 100% of the time. So they really tricked you because you dive down, and a lot of times your bottom signal is an inverted head and shoulder, and it has been a lot lately. But right here, we've made tons of inverted head and shoulders, and none of them have really done anything. And you got yourself, looks like you're building that continuation pattern on the 1 minute. It'll probably get you pretty close down to that other wick we were talking about. So anyways, that's a little bit of my analysis. I like the Cosmo Cadia Sui game, but it's not out yet, just in demo. Okay, I definitely keep that in mind. Will London save us? It's the only way you can improve, study for your losses. Exactly. And again, guys, I haven't been trading for a couple months, so I might have came in swinging a little bit too hard just because we were so bullish. And actually, I would have done really well if weeks wouldn't have messed me up with the fact that I put $50 in a trade, but because they weren't actually counting the $50 in USD I had, they were counting my entire margin possible position. Not the position I was in, but possible position. Because they kept trying to figure it out. I added $50 to my position, and then and I only had $100 to start with, $98 to start with, and then it said like my available balance was still like $85 or something like that. And so I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I had 100, relatively, and I added 50. I mean, it's simple math, and I was trying to figure out why is it so much. I keep adding, and like, I'd add like another $20, and it would drop down, like $3. Well, I figured out it was giving me like my anticipated overall size of position that I could have, right? If I put all the money in, which still doesn't make any sense because, $100 times 50 would be like 5,000, and it doesn't equal 5,000. So I don't know. The numbers were getting a little confusing, but anyways, I would have had some really good positions and been up a lot. But the weeks messed me all up as I'm not used to trading on weeks. Gotta say, whatever that feature is, I hate it. I think it's retarded. They should get rid of it absolutely immediately. I don't know. Was it just glitching or something? I have no idea. It was very weird. But at this point in the game, a lot of times what I like to do is just delete all of this clutter and crap off of my screen. The only thing I want right now is I want that horizontal ray for your bottom down here and that last wick where I'm pretty sure we're going. And it's pretty much just wait and see what happens. All right, where do we go from here? Welcome back. I enjoy the free losses. Exactly. We'll see what happens. I could dig myself out of it. I could add margin. I could probably get myself down to like ridiculous low numbers that we're not going to, just to make sure that I don't lose, because I don't like losing. But anyways, I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. Probably not going to do the whole gaming part of things tonight just because not a lot of people here, and I'm pretty exhausted. I have not eaten since way earlier today, and I'm not supposed to eat in this diet that I'm doing until 10 a.m. tomorrow. So I'm feeling pretty drained. I hope everybody enjoyed the stream, as I always say. Join the Discord. The link is in the description. I don't think we have many new people here except for the one person who is from India. I hope that they join the Discord if they're real crypto people. If you're not, like, if you don't actually care about crypto, please don't join the Discord. I feel like there was something else I was going to say. Turn that auto cast on. Great stream. Thank you. You're awesome. Hey, I appreciate you saying that. And I really appreciate the super chats. Getting 2 super chats on a night like tonight when there wasn't a lot of people in here. That's pretty good. Your body weight is good. You need a bulk. Hey, I need both. I need a little bit of cut, and I am bulking. I hit the gym today. I definitely got a good workout in. I'm probably gonna, all I'm eating is beef. I'm eating nothing but beef and eggs, basically for the foreseeable future. Blue Sky's not here, so he can't give me his opinion on what he thinks of that, but I think he'd like it. Yeah, I'm on a carnivore, all protein diet. Eggs, very well-rounded, nutrient-dense. Good in protein as well. All right, guys. Like I said, I'll say goodbye 100 times over. Have a great night. Thank you for being here. There'll be another live stream tomorrow. Thank you for the super chats. You guys are amazing. And we'll see what happens tomorrow in the world of crypto. And obviously, I've been even more active in the Discord. So at me. Say what's up if you want to talk about something. I'm always glad to jump into the Discord. It says no bread, no pasta, no rice, no sugar. Exactly. There you go. Cut carbs for me. It's funny is like bread is all right to me. I hate pasta and rice. I don't like it. I won't. I just like it seems like pointless food. It's like eating plastic. Said I lost 50 pounds so far. Good for you, man. New life. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm down. I don't know. It depends on when you start counting from, but I'm down definitely like good 20, 25 pounds over the last year or so like that. But a lot of it I've been putting on muscle, so, it's probably more actually in fat. Anyways, have a great night. Stay underground, stay crypto. 2 hours and 10 minutes we've been live, and I will see you guys in the Discord.